It seems every week that my clients are telling me that they've been stashed or they've been benched or they've been ghosted. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on out there? These terms, these modern dating trends are more common when you're using a dating app, which a lot of people are doing now. But there's four that I think are so psychologically despicable that when people do this to other people, when you do break up with them, you don't just get through it. And you don't get through it because you were almost seduced or lulled into staying in a relationship that offered one of these components. So it shakes your trust, your personal trust in yourself. So when you start going out into the world, it's really hard to learn to trust again. You may tell yourself, well, no more dating apps after this, but dating apps alone don't do this kind of thing. It's the people that use dating apps that are socially and emotionally immature, and they don't attach to the person at the other end that causes the problem. So before we get into that, which will be another video, let's talk about these modern terms and what you should do if this happens to you when you're dating. The first of these I'd like to talk about is the stasher or the bencher. This kind of person basically keeps you going along. They kind of have you on the side. They tell you you're important. They'll say little things to make you feel special, but they don't do the actions. You are never going to go out with them. You're never going to go out and meet their friends. If you do go out with them, it's never at a place where you're going to be seen by others, especially others that know this person. And that's because you're not the only one being stashed or benched. It's highly likely that this kind of a dater has more than one person that they've got this sort of a dating trend going with. The second one is the breadcrumber. The breadcrumber actually can happen in real life too, but the breadcrumber is most indicative when you are on an app. And it's easier because you just keep, if you think, putting little hangers out, like let's do this, I'd love to go to this, like maybe an art museum, or let's do this wine tasting, but there's absolutely no follow-up. So they just put little things out, and then once in a while, of course, they have to come through with one of those things that they promised to do, but it's just little breadcrumbs, like maybe when I get done with school, we can take a big trip and go meet my parents, this sort of thing. If you ever feel in your gut, I'm just being led on, like this person doesn't really care about me, doesn't want a relationship with me, they just want somebody there, they are very insecure people, then this is wise for you to know and to stop it immediately. The third is the ghoster. The ghosting is really a cruel format, and it is hands down done by emotionally immature people. Nobody else would do something this cruel, just disappear. Like you're going along, you're dating, you may even have met up in real life, and then all of a sudden, no matter how close you are, this person just flips and they're out. They don't answer anything. You have no idea if they're okay. And so automatically you start assuming, what did I say the last time I saw them? What was it? And you begin believing that the reason they ghosted is something you did. The last one is probably the most toxic and the most abusive, and that's gaslighting. Not only do they disappear, but when you see them or you recognize them on another app or another like social media outlet, they act totally like they don't know you. And if you bring it up, what are you talking about? I was talking to you for the last 6 months. They'll make you feel like you're losing your mind, like that is not true at all. Or alternatively, if it's in real life, when they meet you, they will start, like they'll come back with a text and blame you for whatever happened. In other words, if they ghosted you, the reason they ghosted you is because you did something or you said something, hence the gaslighting. Remember, ghostlighters are skilled, and they're narcissists usually, or sociopaths. They do not care about you. They only care about how they come across. So on one hand, I would say good riddance if they're gone, but that is not the thing to say to you, because usually you're hurting, you're trying to figure it out. And it does feel like you're partly responsible. And actually, most of the partners that are left feel partly responsible. Make no mistake, with a ghostlighter, there is no part of you in it. And that is a big problem. What you should do, well, the first thing is you have to identify the early warnings. Like, somebody who likes you, someone who cares about you, should respect you. They should want to take you to everything they're going to. They want to show you off. And if you're with someone who doesn't feel that way, that's an indicator, okay? I would not give this person a second or third date. They are indicating truly that they are not into you. Second, when you do realize what's going on, call them out. Call them out on whatever app you're on so that other people won't be seduced into their ways. Will they be mad? Yeah, they might get angry. They might say mean things back, but it's more important that you call them out so they know that when they do this in the future, they have a chance of being held accountable. Because I think most of the time people just move on. They don't hold them accountable, and that's why it keeps going around and around and around. Thirdly, be honest about what your intentions are and expectations for dating. You have a right. If you're dating someone, you can tell them, these are my expectations. Like, we're going to talk at least once a week if we're dating. If we're not dating, if we're just hanging out, talking on social media, I guess whenever I get here or whenever I can, I'll talk to you. Otherwise, it's not significant, right? Right. That's what you have to remember so that you don't get lulled into staying with this kind of person. And lastly, always respect yourself first. If this person showed you disrespect, that's a sign right away. This is not a good person for you. He or she may not be good for anybody, but focus on yourself first. You deserve respect. You give that to others and you expect it back. If they don't respect you after the first date enough to let you know what's going on in their world, that's a clear sign they do not deserve any more communication from you. But be honest when you break it off.